Hey y'all, what is going on? This is Jesse Buzz from the 19th hole. What I got for you here is a pro refresher. What I did is I took the tournament from the Monster Marsh. This is the pro playthrough. I rearranged it so that it would be in the correct order for the current Touchdown Tournament. Hopefully you all can find this useful as a good guide to remember in these holes. This is a par 4 that plays more like a par 3, and it's definitely a hole that we need to be able to get the eagle on. I am going to be playing this hole with my lower level extra mile, just to show you all that it is a very possible hole to still get onto the green, or at least near the green, with the extra mile 6. So I am going to use a Titan ball to try to make up for some of the distance that the 6 lacks. We're going to go with max left spin and 3 bars of backspin. We want to push up and overpower where the end of the ball guide is over that bunker. And then we have our shot set up with the left edge of our yellow on the rough line. And then we're going to adjust for our wind. We see we have to go about 1 ring into overpower on this shot. And we're going to use max curl with the extra mile 6. When we hit it, bounces in, and it's going to actually bounce quite nicely. It's going to be very tough to get this shot to stop on the green with that type of backspin, but you can definitely put it on the which is par 3. We playing this one with the sniper. I'll be using a Kingmaker ball here on this hole. We're going to be playing with 4 bars of right spin and a little bit over 1 bar of top spin. We're going to be playing our red ring right at the edge of the rough line with our ball guide going through and just to the right edge of the hole. From here, we're going to be playing a mid adjustment here on this shot. Plus 10%. Mid is right around a 1 to 1, and it may give or take 0.1 depending on club level you have. We hit perfect. Hits nicely in the rough and rolls towards the cup. Very close right here. I believe this adjustment definitely will drop some shots if you keep at it. So definitely good luck with that. It's definitely a really good Albatross attempt here in chance. I'm going to show you the second shot twice at 2 different positions on the fairway. So for the drive here, we're playing plus 10%. I'm going to be playing it with the extra mile here for this shot. You could also play this shot with the quarterback if you have at least 4 or 5 bars of topspin. I prefer the extra mile because it gives you more topspin, and I think the farther you get down that second fairway area, the better position you have for a chance at the Albatross. So I do switch to a katana ball here, a little bit extra. Well, about the same. It's the same amount of right spin as a Kingmaker, but I didn't need the Kingmaker for this shot with this club. If you do have maybe a little bit lower level extra mile with not as much power, you could stick with the Kingmaker or even a Titan. So we go with topspin and right spin on the shot, at least 4 or 5 bars of topspin, and then we went with some curl as well. We do want to maintain our shot away from that bunker on the left-hand side of that fairway at all costs. For the second shot here, we're playing 0% with the sniper, and we're going to be playing a base adjustment at 4 backspin and 2 left spin on this shot. So we're going to find our distance of our club, which this one is pretty much being taken right at max distance. It's always important to find the min and the max and the mid on your club. That way you know how to adjust for your wind. So we're playing this one pretty much right at max. And we make our adjustment here. We want to have that ball guide just offset, trailing into the right-hand edge of the cup, and a little bit short of the hole. And it's going to roll in. There we go. We got the Albatross. So I'm going to show you this shot one more time on my other account. As you see, we're in a little bit different of position right here. As you see, we're going to be taking this shot from more of a mid position. and a little bit different level sniper. It's going to be the same though setup, 4 backspin, 2 left spin. As you can see, my ball guide is trailing a little bit to the right edge of the hole and a few squares short of the hole. And that's exactly the look you want to get right there, as you can see. So we're playing this one at mid adjustment at 0% for the elevation. Just a little bit over 5. With the katana ball, hit it perfect. This one as well is going to hit very nicely, and it's going to get that nice roll, and it's going to find its way to the bottom of the cup also for our other Albatross. So we played this hole twice in pro. We got Albatross twice in pro. Par 4, and I'm going to show you how to play this one with a Thorn and also with an Endbringer shot. So off the tee box, we're playing plus 10%. I'm going with the katana ball. You could bump that up to a Kingmaker or Titan if you need the extra power, depending on what kind of driver you're using. I'm playing an extra mile 6, so it works with the extra mile 6, so I think you all should be fine here in the pro. We push up into overpower to our landing zone, and then we're going to adjust back for our ring at plus 10% of 5.7 miles per hour. We use full curl, which with the extra mile 6 is about a half a ball of curl. We went with 3 to 3.5 bars of topspin and max left spin on this shot. If you start going with more topspin, then you could put yourself to a spot where you're kind of in between clubs trying to shoot at the hole. So I try to leave myself with the min Thorn. The trick is try to leave yourself with a min Thorn with enough distance to be able to spin your backspin your shot. Here we're just out of distance, so we're gonna have to go with a little bit of topspin on the Endbringer. I do want to land it on the fringe, so I'm just gonna line the shot up with the hole as best as I can with 1 bar topspin. We do have a fairly nice tailwind in this position, so it's not going to be that hard of an adjustment. I actually played a plus 5% here on this adjustment, and I would recommend going with plus 10% if you have to play a max Endbringer shot from that distance. As you see, we just barely snuck it in the left-hand edge of the cup. With 10%, it would have been a little bit farther to the right edge, or to the middle. Alright, so this is the second shot here. Showing you again, except this time I'm going to be showing you how to play it with the Thorn. So this time here we're playing with a Titan ball. I go with 3.5 bars of topspin, or actually it looked like it may have been closer to 4. So we're playing our shot off of the island, and then we're going to push up to our landing zone and then take our shot, our adjustment for the wind. A little bit more curl here in this instance I used, just because I did have it with the extra mile 8. But you see we get the nice bounce and about the same type of roll. We're a little bit farther towards the mid left hand side of this fairway, which is going to allow me to have the extra room to play Thorn shot this time. So we're going to push our shot up just a little bit so we have enough distance to make the adjustment. We're going with a little bit over 3 bars of backspin on this shot. We want to line this one up with the edge of the hole. And what we're going to do here now is going to make our adjustment here for the wind right at min adjustment for this wind. I played 0% on the elevation change here for this shot. And as you can see, we're going to bounce it in and roll it into the hole. Boom, there's our eagle. This one is a very tricky par 3 with the wind that we have. You can either play this one with a driver with backspin on the left hand side. You will want a quarterback or maybe a rocket with at least 5 bars of backspin to play that shot on the left hand side. We're playing plus 20% for the elevation change. I kind of decided just to go with a sniper shot over the top of the bunkers. It's definitely usually a riskier shot, but in this situation with this wind, I think it's the most consistent shot overall across what everybody can play club-wise, because if you don't have the proper driver to play the shot to the left, then it's not possible. So we're playing this shot with a little bit of backspin and a little bit over 2 bars of left spin here. We have the edge of our white ring, as you can see right there along the edge of the bunker, and I'm using a katana ball. I would suggest going with the Kingmaker ball. That way you won't run into any kind of OP issues with that adjustment. And as you see, we hit it nicely, it comes up and it's going to roll towards the hole. I think if we didn't lose a little bit of our power on the adjustment, we had a little bit better of a chance at that shot. But anyway, still a really good way to play this hole. Is next. Definitely a good chance at the Albatross here on this hole as well. All of the par 5s have really strong Albatross chances to them. So, I think this is going to be a tournament with some really high scores as well, just because of the possibilities of the drops available. If you use a different type of club, like an extra mile, an APOC, a Thor, definitely be careful on the topspin you use on this shot, because you can roll through the fairway into the rough. So I'm going at this one with a katana ball. So we're going top spin and left spin on the shot. We're playing plus 10% for the elevation on this one. I get up to the max and I put the edge of my blue ring there on the edge of the rough. And that's the way I always set up this shot. Find max, blue ring, edge of rough. No curl needed on this shot. We're letting the spin of the ball do the work. If you put curl, you kind of run the risk of maybe clipping that rough, and that's not something that you want to do on that drive. Alright, 314. So for our second shot here, we have our sniper. We want to find our mid, our max, our min on the shot. So what we do here is we find our max, or we find our min right there, and then we're going to find our max. So there's our mid, and this shot's being played at about 75% club. So what you would do is you would just find your mid, and your max, and play the value in between those two. So we'll go a little bit of backspin here. I put a little bit of right spin on this shot. I don't think you really need that right spin. I think you just want to use a little bit of backspin as you need. And you want the edge of that ball guide to be right over the edge of that rough on the other side towards the hole. We make our adjustment, we hit our shot. It's going to come in quite nicely, and I think we were about 1/2 a bar of backspin too much on that shot, otherwise we may have dropped it. So this is my other account, my second shot with that account as well. As you see, my max, my min, and I do make a mistake here on this shot. I play this shot at mid adjustment instead of playing it at max adjustment, which is how I should have played it. But you see here, we go with 2 backspin. We don't put any side spin in this time, and we just kind of find that ball guide line straight to the hole, which is definitely the correct way to play this hole. Now here you're going to see my adjustment here. We play our mid adjustment here instead of our max adjustment, which means we do lack about 1 bar of curl, of adjustment. So unfortunately it's going to come in here, as you're going to see, it gets a really nice bounce and a nice roll, but that lack of adjustment cost us. We have here playing with an extra mile, trying to set up ourselves for either the fringe bump with the Hornet or the Thorn. We play in our drive at plus 10%. I'm using a Kingmaker ball, but you can use a Titan. You can use a katana ball on this hole. I prefer the Kingmaker because it helps knock down the wind some to make that second shot maybe a little bit easier. So we're going to aim our shot up here with the edge of the ring right there close to the edge of the rough line. Then we're going to make our adjustment here, 5.4 plus 10% at max. We did use max topspin and right spin as well on the shot, and you just want to aim that ball guide down the middle between the rough line and the bunker on the drive. So as you see, we get a nice bounce there and a nice roll, and we're going to be in position for our Thorn shot. So with the Thorn shot here, we're going to play at plus 10%. Anywhere from 3 to 4 backspin on this shot. You are taking this shot off this fringe. So definitely, that's going to be your most consistent landing zone, is that fringe. And I'm going to go with 3 backspin here. I would, if I had it to play over again, I would go with 4 backspin. Because as you can see, 3 backspin puts the edge of my ball guide right up there near the edge of the cup. And yeah, 3 does not work here on this shot. You definitely want 4 if you're in this position. So plus 10% adjustment here, just a little bit more than min adjustment on this shot. We do hit this one perfect, and we are going to come in very nicely, right on line with the hole. But unfortunately, that 1 bar of backspin that we lacked cost us right there on that shot. Otherwise, I think it would have dropped dead center of the hole. Three. This is the last par 3, and we're going to be playing this one with a sniper. I would suggest going with the Kingmaker on this hole. Reducing that wind definitely will help your chances here on this hole. We'll play this one with plus 10% on the elevation change. So for this shot right here, we're playing it with like just about a half a bar left spin. We're going to have the red ring right up there against the edge of the rough line. And we're playing this one at max adjustment with the sniper. So we're aiming this thing at the pin, and then we're going to make our adjustment here. On this shot right here, we're just playing plus 10% adjustment, max. 0.5 left spin on the shot. We do hit it perfect here, and it's going to come in here. This is a difficult hole with this wind direction, and it's going to be a tough one to ace and dial in. As you see, we came in a little over 1 grid left of the hole. So for this next attempt, we're actually going to go with plus 20% elevation. So we'll actually be adjusting our shot a little bit farther to the right with plus 20% max. And we're going to see if we can bring in that shot a little bit closer to the pin. The other option would be to offset the shot a little bit on this hole, definitely. And that's definitely another option. Or you can just add higher adjustments for the wind, We're just going to go with plus 20% here, still playing at max, and we're going to see if that makes any difference as far as where this shot comes in. We're trying to get the shot closer to the hole, hopefully get the ace. We came in about a grid and a half to the left last time, and we made our plus 20% this time, and as you see, we actually got a lot closer to the hole, so offset on that hole and see how that works next. I'm really kind of hesitant to go farther up as far as elevation goes. I think at this point we just need to start working on maybe an offset to see if we can dial it in that way. But definitely something to work on throughout the week. Alright, hole number 9 here. I think, definitely in the pro, the best way to play this hole is going to be with the Berserker. Across, all the different levels of your clubs, especially if you're extra mile. With extra mile 8, you may be able to get away with something different. The reason why I like the Berserker, though, with this shot is because it allows me to play this shot without having to really worry about overpower. So that lets me concentrate more on a perfect hit. So we go into overpower, so the ball guide goes where we want it. Then we adjust for our wind, and then we push up our shot back to max. Regular power, we hit perfect, and you're going to see this one comes in very nicely. We could have gone with a little bit of overpower and gotten this one a little bit further up the fairway, but if we had done that, then we were going to have some issues with our sniper, because if we're too far up the fairway, then we're in between clubs with our sniper. So you see where I am at right now with my sniper. I have lots of room to work with this sniper. See, if I was farther up the fairway, then my shot would be much farther pushed up and I wouldn't have as much room to work with. I think this is a hole where having more room to work with on the second shot is more important than a long drive on the first shot. So I'm going with some backspin, as you can see here. We're trying to stay away from a left spin and right spin as much as we can on this hole. I think a straight on approach is the best approach on this hole. So we had a small little offset on that one. We're playing plus. We're playing 50. What are we playing? Mid distance 0% on this shot. This was 0% elevation, mid distance, and we drop it dead center of the cup. So hopefully y'all enjoyed that, and you can have the same result as I did. Thank you all for joining me for this pro refresher for the upcoming Touchdown Tournament. This was the playthrough from the past Monster Marsh Tournament. So if you want to go watch more content from other streamers, the Monster Marsh Tournament is the place to go. Hope you all have a great day. God bless, and good luck this weekend practicing.